So this is a really late pickup for me. Now, this is a raffle win. This is going to be, excuse the towel, I'll get into that later, definitely. This is going to be a review for the Puerto Rico 97s, a beautiful sneaker, a beautiful piece of just history in the making. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Sneaker Circle. Now, like I was saying, this shoe released at the beginning of the month. So this released June 4th. I got an email recently, like last week, from Unknown here in Miami that I won the raffle, a charity raffle that they were hosting. And they gave me a chance to buy it. They sent me over the invoice, and I couldn't say no. Even though it's weird. Everywhere I tried, everywhere I entered, and on sneakers on release day, I did go for my fiance size, but none of those hit. And the one that I tried for my size hit. Now, mind you, I'm not even Puerto Rican. Fully born, bred Colombian here. And I still thought these were really nice, and I had to go for them. And now that I have them in hand, I don't regret going for them. But I don't know. Let's get into the review and let me tell you exactly what's on my mind. So before we get into the actual sneakers, here's a quick shot at that box label. You know I do it with every release. So I do feel like this was one of those releases that Nike just tried to push out of there as quickly as possible. Quality control on these isn't the best, but the colorway on these is unmistakable. Like, if you're really big into the 97 or the Air Max scene in general, you recognize the colorway that is really familiar with the silver bullet colorway. Here's a photo of that. This is just like them, but instead of the black accents, you have more navy than anything, which matches that Puerto Rican, I guess, vibe, or just their flag in general. Now, my favorite aspect of this sneaker is actually the accessory that came with it. I don't know if I'm gonna show you this now, but let me get into the shoe a little bit, then I'll show you at the end and why it's like my favorite piece. So if you guys don't know, Nike has a history of making Puerto Rican themed sneakers. They have a bunch of Air Force Ones. They have a ton. I think there's even like some Huaraches out there, if I'm not mistaken. If you follow the sneakers app itself, they did feature one collector who just has been collecting since the early 2000s of just all Puerto Rican sneakers. And hopefully he got his hands on these, especially if he was featured on sneakers. So last year's release, we were supposed to get a retro of a classic Air Force One that they did. They have the Puerto Rican frog on it. They have the flag, but apparently they did the flag wrong and that release had to be canceled. And a lot of people were actually complaining about the flag placement and the flag itself on this one. So getting a quick look, you have this silver upper. Most of it's reflective. There's only like one hint of leather, this white streak through the whole shoe. The rest is just reflective 3M, which is super dope, especially like if you're on the streets, if you're taking these nighttime photos and stuff like that. Quality control to me is really poor on this release. Just looking at that paint job, how it's just like scratched here, it could be better. It could be better. Maybe it was just Union. No, why did I say Union? It could just be Unknown giving me like a pair someone didn't want, and that's fine. That it is what it is. But getting back into the flag, we do have that detail right there on the tongue. On the insoles, we do have a swoosh with, let's see if I could get it in there. Nikeaquimequedo is written on the sole. And on this one, where the problem lies and a lot of people don't like, you do have a Puerto Rican flag at the heel or the base of the shoe, right there in the center. The swoosh was on the other one. A lot of people aren't liking that from what I'm seeing online because they don't want to be stepping on their flag, you know? And yeah, I can understand where that's coming from. It could have been placed a little bit better. It could have been placed in a different area. You do have the flag right here, and it's kind of weird. You get two flags on one shoe and only one flag on the other shoe. But like I was saying, these are just like silver bullets, maybe with a consistent silver throughout the sneaker, with hints of navy instead of hints of black. Right there, one of my favorite details is that swoosh. It's a red swoosh, but then it's outlined in that navy. Let's get as close as possible. So it is really nice, but every time I get close to this shoe, I'm just reminded of these like quality control issues. They could be a little bit more, like the air bubble is dirty. It looks like it has paint on it and fingerprints. Everything just seems like it could have been done better. Here's that nonchalant, just mini swoosh on the sole. Almost dropped it there. And you can kind of see that botched detail right here. How it's just like, just paint getting everywhere. And it bugs me to a certain extent. Now, getting into my favorite detail of the shoe is the actual towel that came with it. When I first saw this, I actually thought it was like a promotional item. I didn't know it actually came with every single pair of shoes, which makes sense considering the retail. $175. $200 after like Florida shipping and Florida tax. Like, what is that? So this is the promotional item that came with the sneaker. Once my fiance saw this, she wanted it. If that shoe stays in my collection, she's probably gonna steal this towel. You got Nike branding at the very end, both ends right here, and you got a little NYC tag right here. That's actually really dope touch. I wish they would have featured NYC somewhere on the shoe, especially if the people that were creating this weren't just Puerto Ricans, you know, they were just Puerto Ricans in New York that had that passion for their home island. So getting back here, you can kind of see that nikeaquimequedo. Yeah, right there on the sole. And yo, this is almost a wraps for this release. Last details I could talk about is this navy lace that you've probably been seeing when I'm like flaunting the shoe around. All over navy with hints of white and red. Again, keeping that Puerto Rican aesthetic. Damn, it's crazy how everything in the shoe is just like either navy and wrapped in red or just pure silver, slight hints of white. Even that white leather to me just makes the shoe pop a little bit more. It looks like it's 3M, but no, it's like, it's a really white line. Now, the reason I don't know if I'm gonna keep these is quality control just bugged me a little bit. I don't have a lot of claim to the sneaker since I'm not Puerto Rican. I do love the towel that comes with it. I must admit, I love this towel. I love silver bullets and I don't have silver bullets, so this might be a nice alternative. I do feel a little bit weird if I wear these out and I'm stepping on like another nation's flag, you know, another US territory's flag. I feel kind of guilty for that. But yeah, look at this, like more just quality control details. It's crazy. Definitely, if you are a Puerto Rican person and you love Nike and you love Air Maxes, definitely go for these, man. Or woman, just go for these. Great addition to your collection. That's probably where I'm in this video because I'm tired of talking. Just gonna leave these right here. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Peace. Enjoy.